Hello and welcome to The Real Beef. I'm Don Keith. We've heard a lot over the last year about grooming gangs and the targeting of children in the United Kingdom over the last year, especially since Elon Musk has amplified the issue on X. Now the whole world is aware that Great Britain has become a breeding ground for sexual predators, especially of foreign descent. Well, today I have someone who is a survivor of one of those predators. Her name is Keira Gee, and she has agreed to come on today and tell us her story. Keira is one of the lucky ones. She has become a painter and an activist for grooming survivors, even starting her own organization, Keira's Voice for Change. And we are glad she is here today on The Real Beef because one of our primary concerns in the Urban Scoop organization is to get justice for the voiceless and the vulnerable. So with that, I'm going to bring her on. Keira,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing really well. We've been trying to get together for a while now. It looks like it's finally happening today, huh?
It's been since the start of the year.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I guess our schedules kind of conflicted, and here we are finally today, and going to get to tell the world all about your story. Now, I first learned about you through our mutual friend Gurmit Singh, who has a series on YouTube called The Predator Hunter, where he tracks down and exposes child predators in the UK. So, if you don't mind, would you explain to our audience just a little bit about yourself, how you came to be featured in the Predator Hunter series, and just tell us your story?
So it all started back when I was 16. I just finished school and I had a free house for a bit. I went to the shop to go get some razors and filters, and it he never took the money off me. Um, so then I didn't think anything of it. I just left. Went back a couple of days later, didn't take the money off me again. And
So, this is a
then,
store owner. You went to a store to purchase some items, and he
yeah,
let you just take the items for free, is what you're saying?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then, so yeah, he gave me the stuff for free. And then he said to me, why don't you take my number and you can just text me what you need and I can get it ready for you and let you know if it's in the shop or not.
Hmm.
Didn't think anything of it at all. Just gave him my number, and then from there, that's when it started, and then it lasted for about a year, um, until
What lasted a year?
the whole, the whole like contact messages,
Hmm.
the assault happened for about just on like not it didn't happen straight away,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was all together roughly about a year.
So, and you were between the ages of
I was 16, and
16.
then 17 when I reported it, I
Okay,
believe.
so that was the year between. I know you said you were 16, so it was the year between 16 and 17 then.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what was it? I know it's public knowledge who this gentleman is. Can you tell us his name?
His name's Harry Shankar.
Hmm.
Um, he was the local shopkeeper at the bottom of my mum's road.
Hmm.
And then he lives like next to a college in Bilborough,
Hmm. And what town is this in?
Nottingham.
Nottingham. Okay. And so this went on for about a year. How does this impact you, this situation?
Um, I'm not at first. I was awful. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Couldn't be bothered to do anything. My friends like had to help me like bath me, dress me, make me eat, make me drink. And then I still struggle now, don't get me wrong. But I'm learning what my triggers are, and I always blame myself and felt ashamed, and
Hmm.
I don't feel that anymore. So I'm growing as a person, but I'm still never going to be fully there.
Hmm.
Like just the littlest things can like trigger my head, and then
Hmm.
Everything just goes. I got diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and insomnia. I struggle to get to work sometimes if I don't take my tablets. Like it has
Hmm.
completely ruined me, but it's not. I'm not gonna let it define me and ruin me for the rest of my life. I'm just gonna grow from it.
Well, good for you. I don't think you have anything to be ashamed or embarrassed
Yeah.
about. You were a child being taken advantage of by a grown man. One of the things I've learned from my friend Tommy Robinson is how these predators, the groomers and the grooming gangs, how they operate, where they manipulate young girls using things like candy or even drugs and alcohol at times to
Mm.
influence these young girls. They get them to trust them, and then they begin to basically either traffic them or sexually assault them in some manner or another. But it seems like this guy was sort of using that same tactic
Yeah.
on you. Is that
Yeah.
right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds correct. He would he knew my sister was an alcoholic, so he'd give her a free drink. He knew my
Hmm.
mum, he knew my niece, like he kind of just I don't know.
Hmm. And your
He knew
family were
he
they?
knew
Well,
what he
they.
was doing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He knew what he was doing,
Of
but
course, they always know. They always
yeah.
know. They're perverts. So, and how did your family react? When did they become aware of the situation between you and the shop owner?
Um my friends found out first. I was at one of my friends' house and he used to ring me on no caller ID hundreds of times a
Mm,
day, constantly messaging me,
mm-hmm,
having to show him where I was all the time, what I was doing, who I was with. And then my friends were like, it's getting too much now, it's harassment. I was like, just leave it, like, just leave it, it's fine. I don't want to go to the police. And
mm-hmm,
then I don't know, she says it's like a light bulb moment went off in her head and she's like, it's worse than that, innit? And then I just broke down and my friends found out, who told my sister, and then my sister told the rest of my family.
mm. I'm sorry to hear this happen to you. Let me ask you, how many do you have other friends this has happened to? Do you know other girls this has happened to?
Um, Not personally, no,
Mm-hmm,
like obviously now going to all of the for the children and like I do now, but before no, because never even heard about it. It was just it's not something that's educated on enough. It's not spoke about enough. No, until recently, I'd say just, it just gets brushed under the carpet in my eyes.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and why do you think that is?
I don't know.
When you say pushed under the carpet, who's pushing it under the carpet, you think?
It's just a failure of the system, the justice system. It's just a complete letdown of our government and everything else, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm. And what did the police say when you finally did report this? What were their first reactions?
Um, I can't really remember to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it all just feels like one big blur to me. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember um the officer that was assigned it. He was nice. He was
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it took 5 years to go to court because of COVID and blah
Yeah.
blah blah and all of this stuff, evidence, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the hardest part. 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And so what has been the result of this? Is this man facing justice? Is he gonna face justice? What is the current status of this case?
So at first we went to court in 2023 and I took stand and got cross-examined for half a day.
Mm-hmm.
So did two of my other friends, and when it came to him to be cross-examined, he pled guilty to a lesser charge. So originally he was charged with two sexual assaults, two sexual penetrations,
Mm-hmm.
and he pled guilty to a lesser charge of paying for sexual activities from a 16-year-old. And that just completely ruined me all over again because I fought for 5 years
Mm-hmm.
to basically get told that I'm a prostitute.
Uh-huh.
It hurt. That's the way I looked at it, and it hurt. It ruined me all over again.
Mm-hmm. So what will his punishment be?
He got a 2-year suspended sentence, so he didn't even go to prison.
He's not even going to prison. You're kidding
No,
me.
No. So that was when 2023, and then I kind of just broke back down again, went into my hole and spiraled. And then I was at Gay Pride in Nottingham, and I was just talking to this guy, and he said he lived in Long Eaton because he had a new shop in Long Eaton,
Uh-huh.
which is like 10 minutes down the road in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I knew where it was. So he was like, yeah, my 15-year-old sister won't go in there because he's weird, and he tries to give her a hug. He's strange. So then I went to like support worker, and I got nothing back. So then I messaged Amit,
Mm-hmm.
because he knew about it,
Mm-hmm.
and he came around and he was like, well, can do it two ways, just name and shame him there and then, or I'm happy to pay for a private investigator and let's do this properly and get him done for once. So that's when the documentary of Keira's Justice came along.
Mm.
And then from that, we have been to court 4 times this year. It's been adjourned every single time because the police haven't brought enough evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got sentencing finally on 17th of October because he's been found guilty. So.
Oh, heck. Now he was found guilty because he was now let me ask you, first of all, I want to ask you, how did you first come into contact with Gurmit Singh and and get him to document your story?
So I first knew about Gurmit because my like his charge letter.
Mm-hmm.
So it got about somehow, and Gurmit posted it on Facebook, and it was just like too raw for me at that point. It just,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, it just had a suspended sentence, so it was just another slap in the face for me again. And then he took it down, and then my partner was like, "We'll message Gurmit,"
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when that started.
Okay. And I have a I want on a clip because I want to get your reaction to this because I know you had to have some sort of like emotional reaction to this when you. But I want to play this clip. This is from the Predator Hunter series. It's the series that featured you. But I wanted to show you this interaction between Garrett when he confronts this store owner, who is the man who abused you.
Breaching his suspended sentence. So let's go. Hello, Mr. Harry Chunker, how are you? I'm Gurmit Singh. I'm here representing Keira. Obviously, in 2018, you committed heinous crimes against Keira down in Beeston. You molested her, you threatened her, and recently we've had private investigators following you around for a few weeks because we had intelligence that you may be committing these same crimes again when you were down in that shop in Norfolk. Now, luckily for you, we didn't find anything there, but we have found out that you have been working in stores by yourself and you have a court order stating that you are not allowed to be around children or anything alone, especially in a place of business. We've got evidence from our private investigators in your store that you were running on Norfolk Road in Long Eaton, that you've been there by yourself. Okay? No, I can't speak Hindi. You can understand English because we've had people speaking English to you numerous times. No, you've been here long enough. You know precisely what you're talking about. You know what you're talking. You don't need an interpreter. You know what we're saying. We've got evidence that you have been working in stores in the public by yourself when you have a court order stating that you're not supposed to. The police are on the way. You've breached your suspended sentence. You're going to jail, mate. Do you actually think it was correct in 2018 to be putting your fingers in little girls' vaginas? Do you think that was right? Do you think it was okay for children to be holding your penis?
So what did you think when you saw that and Garrett confronting him, in front of the cameras?
So the first time I watched it, I don't know, it was a lot for me to process
Mm-hmm.
because I finally felt heard and
Mm-hmm.
something is actually going to get done, and I've not just wasted nearly 7 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all a lot to process at first. I watched it on my own because he sent me the link before
Yeah.
it came out. So I was prepared for it when was at the premiere to watch it, but when everyone was at the premiere, it was still like, I've actually done it. I've actually done it.
Yeah, well, good for you. He certainly didn't hold back, did he?
No,
No, I really
his
enjoyed
face
watching.
is like,
Yeah, he just yeah, the guy was just dumbfounded. He didn't know what to think about it.
yeah,
Um, so now the charges that he was found guilty of, Harry Shonker, was that resulted from Garrett's investigation of him working
yes.
against court orders. Is that right?
Yeah, so he was charged with a SIFO, which is a sexual harm prevention order,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not allowed to work in the shop by himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he can't stay with like family members, kids that are under 16, and he broke working in the shop by himself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what
Right.
he's been done for.
So that's basically a result of you reaching out to Garrett to
Yeah,
get this guy. So I want you should give yourself a round of applause because you are responsible for this guy finally getting his due, and hopefully he'll get a sentence that's more just this time, and he'll actually pay for his crimes.
hopefully, but
Yeah.
that's, don't know with our justice system.
No, you never know. I've seen quite a few of these guys who are guilty of abusing children be let go. Meanwhile, you have folks posting, their outrage over Palestinian flag, too many Palestinian flags, and you put them in jail for online Facebook posts. So
Yeah,
the system is really two-tiered and unjust. I even, Garrett went through some sort of trouble as well because he even approached this guy with a microphone as a journalist. He got in some trouble.
yeah.
Isn't that correct?
Or is
Yeah.
that from the Mother's Anguish one?
Hmm. Yeah. So it's really ridiculous to me what's going on in the UK. I don't know what it's going to take to change it. Obviously, an election of some sort because the Labour government's certainly not going to do anything as long as they're in power. They're going to. It seems like they're always catering to certain demographics over another. So I don't know how long that will continue. So hopefully it'll be over quick.
Hopefully soon. Sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Yeah.
But they failed in a lot of ways. They granted him the right to remain in the country after he got found guilty, and he shouldn't have been. So they failed in so many ways.
Hmm.
So many ways. My phone, I got back smashed up in an evidence bag. So,
Really?
yeah, honestly, there was so much.
How do you think that happened? Well, you think someone on the inside took, were taking,
There's a circle mark right in the middle of my phone.
which indicates what?
I asked all the phone shops and they said a hammer, so I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't
I can
seem
send
right
you,
to
I
me.
can send you the photos so you can.
Yeah, send them to me sometime. Maybe after we get off here, you could send them to me.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know how that would have happened. Somebody sounds like somebody was just angry on the inside or something. Maybe they were a friend of his. I'm sure being a store owner, he knows lots of people in that town and has some influence in
Yeah,
law
you can
enforcement.
lock
So
people.
who knows? The way it's such an incestuous system, the way it works over there. With folks knowing so many people in authority who basically just take advantage of the system and can do what they want to do. You know,
Yeah.
but
It's,
yeah. Go ahead.
it's just, I don't know. How did we get here?
Yeah, it's interesting. How do we get here and how are you guys going to get out of it? That's the
Yeah.
that's the question now that you're in it. But
Yeah.
you told me you were doing. I know I saw you on the documentary there. You said you've won. You've got your own career. You're a painter. You've started your own organization.
Yeah.
What's your daily routine? What do you do on a daily routine?
So usually I get up at about 5:30, which is a really big struggle for somebody that doesn't sleep very well.
Yeah.
And then get on site for about 7 or half 7, do an 8-hour shift. Depends where I am. I could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've been local today, which has been good.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in some far places before.
Mm-hmm.
And then get home, chill, and then it's just a stay and repeat again until Friday.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. We talked about two-tier policing in the UK and the corrupt justice system. What changes would you like to see within your society to make sure that, children are protected?
That the lack of empathy that they have for victims, like I felt like I was the person that had done something wrong,
Hmm.
and it was obviously it wasn't. but then that just made the whole thing harder with me blaming myself. They never really listened. They obviously failed on the immigration side,
Hmm.
so they need to tighten that up with people that have if it's happened. So if he got found guilty, and then they granted him the right to remain in the country, how many more people has that happened to? We need to tighten up on that. And in our court system, we have a jury.
Hmm.
We have 12 juries, and 10 of them have to say guilty for him to get sent down. So if it was a 9-3, not guilty, that was it, dropped. I just don't feel like that's fair. 2 people.
Well, it has to be unanimous in our court system. It has to have all 12 in our court system.
Really?
All 12, yeah. All 12.
I
Yeah,
just don't agree with that.
yeah,
Depends on the circumstances, but
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, well, if you have one person, I think the philosophy in our country, if you have one person, because it's beyond a reasonable doubt, the person has to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So if you have one person that doesn't agree, then there's the reasonable
Yeah.
doubt there. I said the way we look at it, it's better for
Yeah.
a guilty man to go free than for an innocent man to
Mm.
spend time in prison.
Yeah.
That's how our system has always looked at it. Um, but let me ask you, when you're dealing with the police in a situation like this, do they assign female police officers to you, or is it males, or do they care? Is it?
So the police officers that came round to my house was a male and a female,
Hmm.
but the person running the investigation was a male.
Hmm. Right. So you would think they'd have some sort of counselors there. Do they have counselors for you at the police department, or is it just police officers?
Yeah, they helped me with therapy. I got into a therapy called Amara, which is like a charity.
Hmm.
And I worked with somebody there, and she was absolutely amazing.
That's good.
She was unbelievable. And because it's only the only men who work with someone till 18,
Hmm.
but she worked with me until I was 22. So
Really?
she did good for me,
Well,
yeah.
at least you've had someone there for you, and I'm sure it impacts your whole family when you go through something like this. So it can't be real easy for you. You talked about immigration. Where was Harry Shunker from originally, and how long had he been in the country, in the UK?
I don't I don't know. I know he was Hindu, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I know he's from India. I
Yeah.
got that from Garament, but
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't sure how long he'd been there. I know
Mm.
on the documentary he acted like he couldn't really speak good English, but according to Garament, he could speak fine English. He was just acting like he couldn't understand.
I wouldn't
Uh,
have been able to communicate with him if he couldn't talk English.
well, exactly, exactly. So, but he was pretending, I guess, for the cameras that he could
Yeah.
speak
He had an
English.
interpreter in court as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played the system very, very well.
Yeah. And so I know you said what you think the system what needs to happen, but what do you think the biggest gaps are in how authorities and systems protect these children and survivors?
We need to. I personally believe, speaking about like how easy it is to get groomed and the education side, that will make so many people more aware because you
Hmm.
can see the red flags because you've taught it. So I personally think education and people starting to stand up together and fight in this because it happens way too often and like nothing ever really seems to get done.
Hmm. Yeah, you would think there would be some sort of more public messaging on that, how to avoid being groomed, and
My case never ever ever went on social media.
Hmm.
Never.
But what about anything preemptive from the authorities and the police departments? Did they try to put any literature out or anything for the schools, visit the schools, and talk to kids or anything like that?
No, I moved to another area and
Hmm.
opened up another shop.
Wow. And what are the demographics in your area?
What do you mean by that?
Uh, white to immigrants or white to is Christian to Muslim? Just what are the demographics in general?
Um,
How many people, I guess, of each?
it's hard to say because Beast, where I'm from, Beeston,
Uh-huh.
we've got a university, so we've got uni students, and there's like they've got a partnership with like Malaysia, so we do have a lot of like Chinese and stuff. So it's hard with the uni students because it's such a big university.
Mm-hmm. And what's the population of your town, just roughly, do you think?
50,000, maybe more.
Mm-hmm. And how likely are you to encounter an immigrant on a daily basis in your town if you're walking the streets?
If you go up to Long Eaton, then you'll find them because that's where the hotel is.
Okay. Are they housing migrants in a hotel there?
Yeah,
Really? Have they had any issues with the migrants in those hotels? And
I haven't personally,
no, I
but
mean just the public in general. Has there been any cases where, you know, because in a lot of places in the UK they have migrants who leave the
yeah.
hotels and they stalk, the women talk about being stalked, or some of them end up being sexually assaulted and things like that. Has that happened in this town you're talking about?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
From what I've been told, the rate percentage went up by like 5% in that area or something.
Really? 5%? Wow, that's a lot. Well, one, I guess if you're gonna look, you know, try to find a light at the end of this dark tunnel you've been down, is this organization you've started, Kira's Voice for Change. So explain to me what this is all about. What's the mission behind Kira's Voice for Change, and you know, what do you want people to take from it?
So I started it because I always felt alone and ashamed and don't want somebody else to feel like that because my support system was absolutely incredible. And if they wasn't like that, I don't think I'd be anywhere where I am today. And some people don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously social media, everyone's got social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use my voice to spread awareness, like education,
Mm-hmm.
um, and to let people know that you're not dirty. You don't have to feel ashamed. It wasn't your fault, and you are not alone. And you can fight this with other people that have been through the same thing, and or got your back.
Mm-hmm.
Regard, like if even if they haven't, there's so many people that will have your back.
Well, that's great. And where is this organization? Is it a website or is it social media?
So I've got Facebook, Twitter, X,
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, and Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And how what have the reactions been? Have you encountered any girls like yourself who have been through the same type of ordeal?
Yeah, um, especially with like the um public speaking that I've been doing for the children. I've
Mm-hmm.
met a lot of people there, and we've kept in contact since, and we've been like checking in, and so yeah, from from that, from publicly speaking
Mm-hmm.
massively, and I've kind of got something that I might have coming soon with somebody who messaged me off Instagram, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that goes into plan.
Well, good luck to you. I hope that works out for you. What do you want to do from here? Where do you want to see this go? What are your next steps?
I've got loads of steps. I've got a petition out um, to change the law so that you can't change the plea deals. Um, got my book, Kira's Voice for Change, just posting me, and sometimes it's a bad day, sometimes it's a good day. My public speaking, I want to talk in schools and like colleges. I thought about like a charity. I've got loads of ideas in my head. I just yeah,
Well, I hope it all works out for you. Best of luck.
yeah.
I'll certainly be praying for you that it happens, and hoping that you do very well. So, do you have, if you would, just tell people again where they can find you on your social media, tell them where their handles are so they can get in touch with you, especially if any young girls see this who may want to reach out and get in touch with you.
So you can find it on X, YouTube, but I haven't really posted on there.
What's your X handle?
Keira's Voice #4 Change.
Okay. Keira's Voice
It's the
for
same on,
Change.
same on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X.
Right. Well, I thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's so tough to come on shows like this when you've been through such an ordeal, so I got to hand it to you for your bravery.
Thank you.
It's very, very impressive when anyone goes through something like this and is willing to come out and speak to the public about it. So I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us today. So keep me posted on your progress and how your life's turning out. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, an amazing story. What kind of bravery does it take for a young girl like that to come on and share such a story that's really turned into a bright light for her, where she's able to reach out to others who've been through the same type of ordeal. But I want to thank you guys all for watching, and reach out, give Keira a follow on her social media accounts, and hope she does really well. Thank you all for watching. Take care. I'm Don Keith. This has been The Real Beef.